Okay.
Cheesy effects! The Tex-Mex that
One
time
sec.
forgot!
Hey Bariko, sorry I had to duck out. I needed to just get away from the computer. I was just feeling a bit stressed.
Groovy.
I've had a weird day. How are you going though?
Peace, man!
Oh, I didn't see that follower. Hang on. Sorry about that. Lanor VA. Let me just sit back down. Turn this down. Okay. Hey Shades, it's my birthday. Well, happy birthday, dude. What are you doing spending it here when you could be doing something good? Why are you here? Putting yourself through the trauma, which is me, Shades. And don't think anything of it, Bariko. I would already plan on streaming. But I was also sorting out some other things, so I figured I'd reply to you. So it definitely wasn't you. It was just me. Me being me.
Hey,
Home alone, chilling, gonna edit audio later. Oh, well, give us a message later, we can hang out or something. I'll see what I got on. We did this one. Why am I going into this one?
hey!
Why did I think that was a good idea? So I tried doing this world last time, and I was gonna do it, and I just didn't. I think I got conked out at the at the end of it, so I was like, well, but that's okay, cause I've had a full day today.
Cheesy effects!
I had a full day of doing game dev stuff. Last night before I went to bed, I was doing script writing, and then today I was doing Shady Lucart stuff, and then I went and dived over and played the final part of the story for Under the Hood, which was really good, which Bariko is working on and doing such an amazing job making my story seem competent. So I thank you for that. Cart goes so hard. I appreciate that. I'm happy that you feel that cart goes hard, because there are you know what's funny? I went to a I shouldn't even be saying this. I went to a pirating website because I googled Shady Lucart, and one of the websites that came up in was a pirating website. And for some weird reason, whoever runs the pirating website also does reviews.
Hey!
And I was like, oh, okay. And he gave it an 8 out of 10. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty good. Like, even the pirates are like, it's pretty good, bro. Like, but I thank you for that. It means a lot. I always feel like, as Lucas would say, I think we went a bit far in a few places. You know, we put Jar Jar in. Sometimes not just to race, but to explore the world. That's what I want it to feel like. I always want it to feel like that, you know. I always want it to feel like, you know, you can tell my age by the type of game it is. It's funny because I had a lot of people that were like, this isn't the game I want for a kart game. But it is like competent in that regard. So it's like, well, but retroly competent, because I know a lot of people don't like difficulty in their loot games. They want to come, and I get it. It's all about the coming. It's all about the coming and the pump and the coming. But you know, like at the end of the day, you know, I kind of want to have a bit of fun playing a game. Like I want to sit down for the night, order some. Look. It's like Sonic R. I'm glad because Sonic R is a huge inspiration. I've got a list of games. Hang on a second. One second, chat. Sorry about that, chat. I'm back. I'm back. Ugh. Some people just want lewdness from games. Well, I mean, I guess so. But then I'm not too sure what they're after. Because, like... What a glitch there. I mean, I get it too. Like, some people just want a nut. Like... You know what I mean? Like, some people just want to get their nut off now. Loot cart needs more cart. There's a couple of unlockable loots with the carts involved doing stuff. A lot of people didn't realize that. I put a lot of like parody, because I like putting my humor in stuff. There's something really satisfying though. I don't think I'm responsible for it, but I like to think that like I was one of the people that inspired a lot of other people to do something different, because I look at a lot of games now and the space is so different. It's so good compared to what it used to be. You know what I mean? Like, it's not all visual novels anymore. Like, there's still a shitload of visual novels. And again, like, I got nothing against visual novels. It's just... I just miss that level of creativity that a lot of other games could provide, you know? That was very close. That was some close shit. Thanks, Jim. I'm not doing well on my first run of this level. I've never liked this level because there's so much like no-no zone. Like everything's too hot to step on. The game actually works quite competently when the camera is really far back. I realized that last time I played it with the camera really close. When I play it really far back, it's actually quite good to play. Okay, so I need to get down there because that's where the card is. Motherfucker. You motherfucker. And surprisingly, the camera's not too loopy. You know what I mean? Like... Anyway, enough about me. How are you going, chat? What's the haps? What's it? It's... No, it was not that one. I think it is back across that way. Oh, it's a hell of a jump. Fucker. It's gonna be a hard one, man. Once we leave this world, I'm gonna be so happy. So good. Is that it? Oh. That's what I got last time. So it's up and then that way. I wonder if like speedruns for this game must be insane. There was some unlockables you weren't able to get in car. What were the unlockables? Because if it is a bug, tell me and like I'll work on it. But kind of in this sort of, no, I wouldn't say lull. It's like we're preparing the next update, so like there's stuff going on, but it's not big. Like I'm currently designing. I mainly been like going back to kart games again, and like I almost actually revealed what the track was going to be, but I'm looking at what the next track's going to be. And so I've been kind of going like, all right, I need to find some inspiration because I know what the theme is, but you know. Oh, hi, cat. Maybe I should explore more. Oh, definitely. Some of them, like, there is a list of stuff that's like, if you want a really good hint for kart, go to the character select menu and highlight something that's locked, and it will usually tell you how to get it. We don't want to be, like, we're not trying to be too cryptic with things. You know, I don't want to be too cryptic with stuff like that. So I try to hide stuff that's, you know, you can see it within reason. Like, I've got to start using the roll. Doesn't sound like him when he does that. These robots are brutal as fuck. I've got more health than last time. I think there's a couple out there, isn't there? Yeah, there is. I don't really need them yet, though, so. I hate this level so much. Because of that shit. Because of that shit, man. Like, holy shit. It gives you no, like, it gives you no, no room for error. Fuck's sake, now I gotta do it again. I'm just speeding it. I'm just speeding it. Because I can come back to this. Did I finish Sonic Unleashed? So I haven't, no. So that was when I was having my internet problems. And then I took it like, I think it was like 2-3 weeks break because I was trying to work out what was wrong with my internet, and there was like 3 or 4 issues. I am gonna go back to it though. I've got a bunch of games that I want to finish, so that's one of them. Because not only is it Sonic, but you know, and I love Sonic Unleashed. It was more about, you know, finishing it. But I guess there was also a big part of like, I also want to be in the mood to do it. I don't want to do it because I feel like I have to do it. I was thinking Sunday. Sunday feels very Sonic because it's Sonic Sunday. But I'm also thinking Peach Ball on Sunday. A lot of people really dug Peach Ball. Do I plan on playing Sonic Dark Brotherhood? I'd like to, yeah. On stream, yeah, for sure. Let's go move this closer. There we go. I've been, I recently got a mod. I bought a mod pack for myself like 2 years ago for my DS to play DS on TV. And it ended up not working. I bought it for my birthday. I was really upset because I really just want to play DS on TV. Like, and so I sent it back to them, and they ended up sending me a new one. But what I've done is I've been just sitting on it, and I just haven't been bothered to like, because it requires me to pull apart my DS and do soldering, and then I've got a friend who I met recently, and they were like, oh, well, I can do it for you. And I was like, oh, okay. The one game I think about a lot that I want to stream on the DS is Sonic Rush Adventure. I think that game is so good, man. I think about that game all the time. Especially interactions with Amy, but the music, I think it's the worst. Yeah, I don't really remember the music. I think the music seemed very unmemorable for the game. That's for sure. So the punishment there is that you have to know to jump off there early. What a fucking weird punishment that is. That's some weird level design. So you basically get stuck there and you die unless you know to jump off. What a fucking weird thing to do. Gears game.
Oh yeah.
I was in that weird era where like my attention span was very hard to keep, and like as much as I was playing games, like I think like Dark Brotherhood really didn't do it for me at the time as a kid. But I also think like it was the same as Sonic Unleashed. I just never finished it. And I was kind of upsetting myself because, you know, speaking as a huge Sonic fan, I should have been able to just finish the game. But games became so overwhelming for me as a kid. So I was just like, I just want to play everything. Everything all the time, everywhere. You know, like I wanted to play everything. And I guess that's the hard part, is like knowing when to stop. But my goal now is, because I am a huge Sonic fan, I've always wanted to play all the Sonic games. Because there are some Sonic games I don't think I've touched. Oh no, I think I've touched pretty much. I'd say like all the ones I own. Sonic, yeah, well it gave us Werewolf Sonic, so the furry community rejoiced. They were really happy. Yeah, I would say that, I'm trying to think. Maybe if I'm being really obscure, like Sonic on the Neo Geo Pocket. That shit I've not played. Like if I was really being obscure, I don't know why so many people dislike the 8-bit Sonic games. I don't know either. Alright, if you want a legit bad Sonic game, Sonic R on the Gamecom. That's a bad game. Look that up. On the Gamecom. Smiles a chat show host. Beautiful. Or as Jim would say, utterly delicious. Let's go, boys. Oh, I got the... Oh, I forgot about the turret thing. This thing's nuts. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is the best underrated game in Gamescom. Is it really that good? Gamescom, like, is an interesting console. I think all consoles are interesting no matter how bad they are. Like the Jaguar, the fucking CEI. Like, there's something about every console that I'm attracted to, even if, like, I would own it and never play it. Like, I have a Panasonic 3DO hooked up to my systems. And yet, it is not my... It, like, is by far one of my least favorite. But there's something about it, like, I don't know what it is. I just really like the Panasonic in a weird way. That I just play it. It's horrible, but good for the Gamecom. I'm really intrigued. Didn't they do Doom for the Gamecom? I swear they did Doom for the Gamecom. Maybe I'm wrong. There's two ways to go here. Oh wait, I came out of that door, didn't I? No, I came out over there. So I've got an access card. So where does that take me? I did you. Yeah, that. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So what's over here then? That's where those little gremlins came out, didn't they? It's a little storage unit. Yeah, there was, Gamecom games are not popular here, and then I ended up having a friend tell me that there was a guy who had a Gamescom game, and I was like, well, you have intrigued me, sir. And then he was like, yeah, go check this guy out, like he's got a copy. Said, what's going on? That box. Oh shit, okay. Oh nice. Comic dub, hell yeah. Symphony Night had the full game. Even the reverse cars. Really? I am the spiritual hot sauce. Many centuries ago, it was written that a worm would come from afar to fulfill his destiny as Lord of the Fries. Do you mean me? Well, I'm guessing here, but we don't get many worms. Maybe you should advertise. Quiet. Listen carefully. Stranded around the swamp are the holy potatoes of truth. Take this weapon and uproot and release the energy flow. Only then you can truly fulfill your destiny. Like your father. My father. Sorry, I made that bit up. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they hide the potatoes hide everywhere on the levels. That's right.
Doing this.
What's the alright chat, what's a really bad game, or a game that you think got a really bad port that you've played? Fancy, hello. Fancy recently did the impossible. I don't know if you know this, chat. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna blow your mind. Guinness World Record. Fancy is the first person ever to get his virginity back. Fucking crazy, am I right? But he did it. I read about it. Pitfire on the SNES. What about the Master System Pitfire though? What about Master System Pitfire? The pickle has been released. Oh, that's right. He gets flattened by a fucking fridge. I forgot about that. But it's alright. Because we get the utterly delicious udder. Give me that udder, baby. Must wreak havoc. I gotta get another gun. Can you give me another one? My dude. There we go. Cool. Thank you. It was a hard-fought battle, but I got it, fam. Yeah, I know. I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you managed to get it back. That's crazy, bro. Means I have to go all the way back just to go see fucking Picklehead. Or I could just go this way. Because isn't this where the start is? Yes, it's the start. Off we go. He's the gym boy. He's in, boys. It's 3. So what was the button? There's 1 potato. There we go. One. I don't know if that's the same one. You watch, dude, same. Same. That's so cool. We're like Ogre Brothers. That's so cool, bro. When did you lose your virginity, Said? Did you, like, was that during a movie that was by DreamWorks? Fucking give me that brain. You've never played your V card. Holy shit, Seb. Like, when we meet up, we're gonna have to take you out on the town. Oh, yeah! I met a chick recently who was in a crazy taxi. I didn't know chicks like that could exist. Crazy, right? That wasn't even a pun. It was just like, she was like, I'm listening to Offspring. And I was like, Crazy Taxi? And she's like, fucking love that game. She's like, it's half the reason I'm listening to it. And I was like, oh my god. He played it face down, yeah. That's okay though, Seth. You know what though? I think that's perfectly fine. I don't think it's like, I never understood what it was like when people would pressure people into losing their B card. Sex is cool, but you know what's cooler? Cuddling. Cuddling's the shit. I know like I meme sometimes, do you know what I mean? Like, but this isn't just like shades me, do you know what I mean? But like, I mean it when I say like I don't necessarily think sex has to like be it doesn't have to revolve around so much shit, man. It's just that doesn't have to be so confusing. why is it gonna be so like involved? This way? Is that the two? When I say involved, like I'm saving V card for someone special. But you don't know. People put it on a pedestal. It's true, and that's not even me memeing. Like, I'm sorry, I'm getting comfortable. That's not even me memeing about it. Like, sex is really cool, obviously. Like, but like at the same time, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think like self gratification is just as good. Hell, like even just not doing it at all is pretty good. Cause sometimes like there's so much effort that's required. There's so much effort that's required. Sometimes sex can be tiring, man. There's gonna be so many like. There's so many cogs in the wheel, you know what I mean? Delete B card. I refuse to acknowledge that. I don't think there's anything to like be like upset about or like feel weird about. Down. Little slimy little dude. Oh, sex with someone you love is pretty cool. But like, I'm just saying in general, like I don't like, it's funny because I don't really think about, it's funny because I always worry about that persona of like, well, I'm Shade, so I've got to be like, I fuck all the time. Like, when in reality, like, I don't, cause like, I just don't, like, can you grab onto that, please? Don't get me wrong, I'm like horny all the time, but I still don't like, there's a level of like, there's a level of something to that that's just like, well, this is effort. There's a level of effort that comes with it, you know. I'm not saying I'm lazy either. I'm trying to like walk around this. I'm trying to skirt around it when I should just be honest. But do you know what I mean? Like I feel like when I was younger, like used to fuck all the time. But like now that I'm older, I'm just like, you know, it's just as good a Mars bar, like, or like I don't know, like a bowl of nachos or something, like. That's just pretty good, man. Oh shit, there's like 3 here. Playing with big cards, somebody affiliate. But wouldn't you want to like fuck around first, said? Like get it out your system, so then that way, like when you do the deed, like you will be at prime said prime, they call it. The planet said prime. You don't do that crap? Why do you call it crap though? What's wrong with like just fucking someone in general? Wrestle with people. I don't understand though. Like, is it just that's not for you? Okay. I mean, I get it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. It's gonna appear there again. There we go. Two, three. Got him. That's the 5th one, man. That level ended up being a lot easier. Made some nachos now. Like, don't get me wrong, I like, again, it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those things. I know I seem like I'm just talking out my ass and shit, but, or you're like, what the fuck's wrong with Shades? Like, don't get me wrong, I love to fuck, but at the same time, I also love, like, I don't know, like, I like sleeping. Sleeping's cool. Sex nachos, that's pretty good too. It's funny that people that work in the loot industry with no experience with the actual thing. You'd be surprised, like, at the amount of people I meet that have and haven't. I can tell this story of this guy, I guess, because he's not in the industry anymore. He's pretty much wiped his existence. So I think I'm pretty safe to talk about him. So before I started working on Cart, I pitched the idea to this other dev, and I'd reviewed his games before. And he had a missus at the time, and you know, they were pretty close and stuff, and we were gonna make Shady Loot Cart like Mario 64. This is that weird one. You've got to like fall down the hole. So I was gonna make it like Mario Kart. Like
Alien free.
this is gonna be a pain in the ass. Anyway, so this guy I knew, and he was quite well known in the industry. Like back when I first started, he was well known, and I reviewed some of his games, and you know, he was pretty good dude. He was horny as fuck like all the time, and I know a lot of people and he ended up like he ended up leaving the industry for a long time because his missus was quite psychotic. But then, like, and I'm not even joking when I say this, because this is where it gets really weird, man. And I look, more power to you. Okay, I don't want to make fun of people. I'm not, as much as I like doing that in terms of like, you know, comedy. I'm also like, there's a level of this where I'm kind of like, I don't want to make fun of the guy because there's a sort of level of, there is a level of funniness to it, but at the same time I'm like, I hope the guy gets the help he needs. There was this guy that he went to a sex cult or something, and like, after this, like, he did a, like, it's so hard to explain. It's so hard to explain, because I've got to try to, like, backtrack and, like, so he ended up starting this, like, so he went to, like, so it was like a sex dungeon thing, right, where he basically got the fuck. And he reckons he fucked for, like, 3 months. That's all he did. And I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, so anyway, I found my inner self. And I was like, cool, man. So you're going to come back to making games with everyone else? And he's like, nah, I don't really feel like doing that. But I could sell you wealth. And then I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I don't know what it... someone will be able to quote me in chat what it's called. Because he came back with a different name and he messaged me about it. And I'm not even joking when I say this. The guy now makes triple the amount of money he did when he was making Not Safe for Work shit. Because he's doing this thing where he makes digital tarot cards. that he places certain hexes on. So like, it's so hard to explain. It's almost like a thing I want to parody in a video, but I like as much. But there's something I'm still attached to this guy, in a way. But I fucking hell, it's nutty. So like so he shows me the website and he's like, I want to give you a card for free, and this card is gonna be like, what I need you to do is I need you to print this card out. And I was like, okay. And he's like, I need you to like carry this card with you all the time for like a week. And I was like, okay. And he's like, yeah, and you carry this with you for a week, and it will like, it'll do wonders for like you. And I was like, okay. And I did, obviously, okay. So I didn't print the card, all right? I'm not gonna print the card because fuck that. I'm not doing that. I was like, I'm not printing the card. He's like, so he goes, I've done a ritual on it, and later tonight I'm gonna do a ritual. So I need you to like say these words with me. And I was like, it was like digital tarot reading. Take note, this guy used to make porn games, by the way, and he was going to make cart with me. So he, I can't believe I've forgotten this story. Like I can't believe I've forgotten this story for this long. So he, on his website, and this is where like, cause it was like a Gumroad website, where like you obviously you buy your products on and stuff, and he's obviously selling on their like digital cards. And I was like, okay. And so like one of them would be like, high libido for the next 6 months, plus you'll have good wealth, or good luck with women, or you'll find your true love within a month, or... So they're all cards. I forget what it's called. I'll have to find the thing. But it actually is called something. I'm not even joking. I wish I, like... It's an actual thing. It's like the equivalent of a tarot card thing. So the guy... So I'm looking on the web... Because then I was like, there's no way he's making money off this, right? Well, that's the thing, right? So this is where I was like, what the fuck is he talking about, right? Because when... Like, last time I spoke to him, he was talking about how to, like, fucking do motion on a, like a character for a porno game. And then he went away because him and his missus had this, like, big old abusive thing. I don't know how much of it was true and how much of it was false. I'm not trying to stand up for... I felt sorry for him because he went through a lot. But then, obviously, I reckon what's happened is he became quite vulnerable. And somebody's taken advantage of him, or like taught him something. But what the weirder part is the con work. So on the website, right, there's all these cards, and the cards have different pictures on them. The cards are no different to each other. You can buy, so it's basically like, I'm not even joking, it's basically like buying a mod for a game. So it's like, you want more guns, or do you want like more health? Do you not want cancer? Like, now, chat, I want you to take a guess how much you think one of these cards goes for. Now, keep in mind, you buy the card, and what he does, right, is when you buy it, you say your name and you request your name and you send him, I think it's like a general ID. He then prints the card out, does a ritual on it, and I'm pretty sure he burns the card during a ritual. Now ask me how much you think those are. Because I'm really curious if anybody's going to say the same thing. Actually, no, I should better hit that other one from that side. Does that mean it respawns all the little dudes again? Probably.
Yo!
Activate. More than you get for drawing. The cards were like a minimum of $500 a card. When I say card, I mean you're buying nothing. You're buying air, and he prints out the card. It's $500 for him to do that. It's because you're popular, said.
Ungroovy.
I'm in the wrong industry. That's what, and so I was like, and how I know that he's making a lot of money, right? And this is where I was like freaking out. Was the reviews. And I was like, he planted these. But he didn't. He didn't plant any of these reviews. So all these reviews were like people that had bought his cards and had benefited from the cards, right? And like they'll be like, oh dude, like I was going really bad in my job and I bought such and such's card and I am now like, I have got a shitload of money. Or I bought the sex card and I honestly didn't believe in this sort of shit. I cannot not get a boner and I fuck all the time. Or I went to a club and 3 women jumped on me. And there were some people that were buying like 4 or 5 cards. Like you could see their usernames and shit.
Yo.
Like people were spending thousands of dollars. So either he like, I don't know how he managed to think this up. Somebody would have had to have given him the like. Like I think about it a lot. Well, when I say I think about it a lot. When I do think about it, I think about it for a long time. So people are like, and I was adding some of these up, and there was like people paying like 500, 600, 700. Trying to think of what they're called. I'll have to look it up. I could probably grab my phone and look it up. I don't remember what his site was specifically because I've forgotten his username. Because he's pretty much off the grid now. He's pretty much off the grid. But, and I was like, no wonder your cards are working, my dude. Like, you're getting how much money per fucking... He's getting like $500 to like light a piece of paper on fire. He must have got to the top of the pyramid scheme way before... I couldn't process it. I actually couldn't process the information. I was like, what do you mean? It's still, I think it seems like an obvious scam. It is, like, it is. There's no way. Like, look, I'm not going to push against somebody, like, your religion, what you believe in, right? And I'm not going to go into, like, what we do and don't believe in, okay? Because I don't think this is the place nor the forum to be doing it. But if somebody's selling you a digital card promising you something that is unobtainable unless you work really hard for it, it's a scam. There's no way. Right? So he made me a card, right? The guy made me a card. And he's like, but you gotta print it out. And I was like, okay.
Worm power.
So I didn't print it out, guys. Before anybody fucking asks, no, I didn't print out the card. Because I was like, I'm not doing it. He was like, I'll print mine out and then I'll burn it for you. And then I was like, okay, like. And he was like, I think it was like a card of success or some shit. And I was like, I felt like I was already on the right track of success. Like, I don't need to be doing any witchcraft. It's like, I think it's literally borderline black magic shit.
Yo. Oh yeah. Ouch.
I guess if people are believing in something, it will work only because they themselves will accomplish it because they believed it worked. Well, it's like a placebo, isn't it? That's what it is, right? It's a placebo effect. So what it is people are gaining the ability to believe in something when it's clearly obvious that it's building confidence is what it is. But I guess they don't know that because it's like that's part of the thing. But I mean, he's living well off because fucking
Ow. Pain.
I don't know. I was just blown away by it. But he did me a card. And so long story short, chat, you wanted to know about my success as a lewd streamer / video game developer. Well, I did some black magic. I burnt myself a card of big dickism, and I am now amazing. Look at that. 3 to go. This is hell. It's hell when you've got to like. Turn this around again. If I can get up there, it'll be so much easier. Got him. Scamming people is the easiest way to success. I myself, even the job pays badly, I would rather do something. No, 100%, 100%. No, I completely understand what you mean. I'm in the same mindset of that. Because I don't have like I don't want to cheat. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, we all do bad things where we cheat the system in some form or fashion. But like, I don't want to cheat at my career of doing something. Please don't send out more of these goons, please. But I mean, I've worked hard for where I've got to. I didn't burn any cards. It's fucking amazing though, right? Like, did I fucking just, like, I'm surprised nobody else had heard of it in chat. I think part of my memory wiped it. Like, I didn't want to think about it. Where's this gonna take me? Basement. Basement 2. I don't know where basement 2 is going. Oh, I remember this. This was a nightmare. This shit's a nightmare. I remember this, man. Because to get up here, you've got to like do all these fart tricks and shit. Life than others. I've had family members that have been scammed. Bullshit, man. Oh no. Why did that fucking kill me? You know what I do hate about this level? Well, about this game, is you die, you die. You go back, and you start again.
Alien 3!
This game's brutal, man. Man, it feels like it actually, yeah. I can see what you mean. On the plus side, this is now open, so I can do the other parts, so. Okay, so it's just floor 1. Didn't they try to bring Boogerman back? Didn't they do a whole thing? They did a Kickstarter or something. Is this a start? I think they did. You have to look it up, Seb, but I'm pretty sure. Where's he going? Okay, that was fucking interesting watching that happen. These aren't gonna do anything. He just fucking left. The guy just fucking left. He was like, nah, I'm not sticking around. He just fucked off. I don't think that... No, this door does open. Okay. Sweet. I'll take it. And then the Kickstarter failed. Yeah, there was a brief. The reason why I know this is because there was a brief period where a lot of these like devs from the Mega Drive age were just coming back, and they were just doing games. I'm not even kidding. So like one of the ones that I saw, General Chaos. If you've ever played General Chaos, someone was trying to do a General Chaos reboot. When I was like, I'll be honest with you, I don't know who wanted that. Because it's General Chaos. Like, Clay Fighter was also supposed to come back, but that was cancelled. Was it? That would have been pretty cool. I'm pretty sure Earthworm Jim was meant to be in the new Boogerman as well. It's for PS1. Don't know why. Maybe I wasn't interested in them. Not gonna understand. There's a lot of games that I missed. It's not ground. It's basement. It's basement 1. The name of the game was a parody of Call of Duty. It was gonna have the character from this series. Really? Like Clay of Duty or something. Look, you wanna... Let's talk about fucking IPs I'd buy. I'd buy Clay Fighter. I don't care if it flopped. That shit's fucking good, man. What the fuck is happening in here? The pan? I think I meant to hit the pan. Close. It's the only thing I can see in the room that you can actually hit. So maybe here? Be quite low. That's way too low. Shit. Clay Fighter 2. Yeah, you don't need to tell me that said. I know, it lives rent-free in my head that you have that. I've got the first and the second game. Well, there's two. There's Championship Edition. There's Clay Fighter. There's Clay Fighter Championship Edition. I want Clay Fighter on the... Which one have I got it on? I've got Clay Fighter... Is it Clay Fighter 2? Clay Fighter 1 on the Mega Drive. Clay Fighter 2 on the... I think that's the Championship Edition. That's the one on the SNES. And Sculptor's Cut. Oh, not Sculptor's Cut. I thought it was called Tournament. Maybe that's what it's called, yeah, number 2. What the fuck is this, Marble Maze? Fucking cut it out, game. Yeah, it's, yeah, sorry, Tournament Edition. Yeah.
Power! Yo!
But I've got 63 and a third. I almost had the option of getting a box version, but I missed out. I was really disappointed. Because I've been pining over the idea. I like the idea of having a box version of that game. Is there 2 in this one? What's in this one? Why make this one easier? No, there it is. Beautiful. Did that one in one hit. What a strange level.
Oh, yeah!
Like, it's inside, but it's not inside, but it kind of is. It's like in a spaceship, but it's like... It's not, but it is. It's weird.
I feel great!
Thank you.
Granted.
Bang. Oh, shit. Okay, bang, bang, bang. I'm gonna hit this dude before I do anything else. Fuck it. Bang. Fuck. Yes. Beautiful. All right. Fucking hell. There'll be no room to move on that one.
Worm power.
Top of tournament editions loose. Mine's loose as well. So my Clay Fighter on Mega Drive is a boxed version. But then my Clay Fighter 2, the one with the rabbit on the motorbike, that's loose. You don't really see that one boxed. Clay Fighter 64, I've seen it. I had the chance, but somebody beat me to it. Because I did think about it. I've been thinking about Earthworm Jim as well, because I've seen copies of Earthworm Jim 1 box, and I was like, that'd be pretty cool to have. Like, I haven't really thought about box stuff before, but now I'm thinking about, because now I've kind of finished collecting a lot of the main stuff, and I'm going for the more obscure shit. That I was mainly thinking about, like, oh, what would be cool as display? Oh, Jesus, we're gonna bang, bang, bang. So it is that way. Nice. Smash it until it works. The first one was the hardest one because you don't get to see where the hit point is. Boom. As much as I'm avoiding some of these marbles as well, I really do need them in order to access the levels. Because the udders only open the world, it's the marbles that open the levels. So that's what, basement 1? I think it was basement 1 or basement 2. Basement 1. That was just a roundabout circle. This one's, oh, this is the fart one. That's right. 2, 1. See how far we can get with this one. I remember doing this one as a kid, but it took me forever. What do you feel was the worst game, worst experience you cooperated on? Did you say I can't read it. Cooperated? Do you mean like something I've made? Be a little bit more specific. Oh, it's that one. fucker. Game I've worked on. Okay. Alright, I will give you, tell you what, I'll give you the rundown of some of the things I've done. Like, sort of like a quick fire. And then if there's any specific stories you want to know, I can just tell you. But I'll tell you which one I think is the worst. So when I decided I want to make games, like loot games, I was like, fuck yeah. And the first game I wanted to work on was a game called Social Experiment. And it was about a scientist who was studying a star, and the star ends up crashing on Earth, and it affects these animals, and they all turn into chicks. And I was working with a chick on it who had worked with me previously on stuff, and she basically, and it was kind of my fault because this is back before I did contracts and stuff, but she just randomly out of the blue just was like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. And I was like, oh. Like, she just left, and I spent money, and there was this Kickstarter thing. It was for adult stuff, like adult games and stuff. You might be able to find it on the Wayback Machine, but it was like Kickstarter for adult games, and they ended up going under too. And then after that, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do my own. So I started dabbling around, and you know, and Flambeau was definitely one that I thought of, like, that lived rent free in my head for a long time. And while I was working on that, sorry, I was concentrating there for a second. Sorry, there's like a part of me that was concentrating. While I was working on Flambeau, I worked on another project, and during that time, yet again, my niceness, this chick was like, fuck yeah, like we should do a game together, and I was like, okay, and she ended up fucking walking away with a bunch of assets and shit, and it was like, I'm putting in 99% of myself, and I think the biggest thing was, like, I would have just done it myself, but and I know I can program within a limit, but there was a part of me that was like, the reason why I wanted to bring other people was because I feel like I didn't want to go on my own. I wanted other people to come with me. I think it'd be cool to, like, have other people come with me. How cool would that be to, like, have other people that be successful? And yeah, she was quite a psychotic lady. And then there was another one straight after that who I started working for, and my friend was like, you know she's a nut, right? And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I've had an artist tell me that I was too nice as well. There was an artist that I worked with, he was like, you do too many smiley faces and you're like too nice, you have to be serious. And then he told me off for the way I tweeted. Not the way I tweet now, but the way I tweeted before. You know, I'd actually put my feelings out there. He's like, you're not allowed to show feelings in game development. You have to be like, you've got to be like more deadpan, basically. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? He was one of the first people I worked with on he did some backgrounds for me for, what was it for? It was for Under the Hood, actually. Then I ended up scrapping him, and then I met Pix, and Pix changed my life because she's amazing. And I was like, you can meet people that are cool. Do you know what I mean? Like, because like when I met Ducky, I was like, could I do that again? And I did with another lady called Candy Lady, but Candy Lady ended up getting quite, like, she got quite sick. And I want to work with Candy Lady again because I fucking love Candy Lady's art so much. There's a bunch of people I want to work with. You'll start to see their art more and more. Like Minced Meat, Choco Bunny. There's a lot of people now. Curvy Buns.
Ungroovy.
Some people just want to be machines with no emotion. It's true. I'm trying to think of any like, and a lot of the projects that I've worked on, like the reason why they stopped was because my dad got sick. A lot of people are thinking that I've been shelving them or I've been bored of them. Like one of the games I worked on with Candy Lady, like is basically done apart from the gameplay, and I had to scrap it. I didn't want to scrap it, but I had to because I was looking after my dad. I say I had to, but like I don't want to say that because it sounds like I forced it, but I didn't. Is it that one? It's that one. Fucking hell, man. Oh. Whoops. Can always finish games. Well, I mean, I want to, but like, I think the biggest guilt for me, and I've said it before, that I always feel is I never want to feel like I can't do it. I guess there's a big part of me that's like, I always worry. I'm always like, part of me is like, I should do it on my own. But then part of me is like, I don't want people to think I'm lazy either. And like, I can ask for help and shit, you know? And like, I can say yes to things, and I don't know, I think part of me is like, part of me gets scared too, because then I feel like the more people I let on, as much as I love bringing people with me, then I think like how much of it is my idea. And then I worry that is it my idea anymore? But I understand it is. Like, I know Shady Luca is, but I always worry how much is it mine? And I feel like some days I'm like, it would work better without me. Like, you know, I don't know. There's just little things like that that my brain... I really do think negatively of myself sometimes. It's just me. It's hard to ask for help, especially when I don't want to crush other people's dreams, because I know they've got things that they need to do too. You know, I don't want to crush what they're doing because of me. Do you know what I mean? I like the fact that people want to work with me, but there's this big guilt that's like, am I being lazy? I know being a creative is not being lazy. Eventually, like, if you want to do more ideas, you have to expand out. But there is a part of me that, like, always guilts myself over that sort of shit. Just me, man. I know it sounds like a weird thing to say. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want people to be like, oh, Shades is a con artist. He doesn't make his games. Like, he gets other people to make them. And I get it. Like, you know. But at the same time, like, I want to make as many ideas as I can.
Ungroovy. Ungroovy.
No, and see, I understand that now, Bariko. But yeah, for a lot of me, it's like I get scared of letting other people in. It's why it took me so long to get an assistant. Because I have an assistant now. Like, I never had an assistant before. That shit took me forever to get. Like, getting Breezy was like, I had to do it. Otherwise, I was going to die. Thank fuck. Like, Breezy is a lifesaver. I couldn't do half the things I could do without Breezy.
Worm power.
It's gonna fall here. I think it's here. Here. There we go. Beautiful. That's the way I came up. Hello, how are you? I don't think I'm gonna get all those on there. What's in this one? It's another hallway of fuck. This is probably to unlock Elvis. There we go. This looks like a chase hallway. I'm gonna be very, very upset if this is not utilized. Before killing time for appointments, I decided to drop by. Well, I'm glad you decided to drop by. I hope you're having a good day, and I hope the appointments aren't too crazy, like doctor's appointments or something like that. Do they really expect me to go head first in any of these dudes? Because like the way they've designed it is like I could just stand back and do it. Might have to take this 64 controller apart. It's very stiff. Nothing crazy. Okay, cool. Um. Through the hole? What did I miss? Okay. Is that it? Did the game just not? Maybe I weren't supposed to be here. Probably. I thought there was meant to be a button or something. Maybe I missed a dude. Pretty far back. Lord. I can hear a dude. Maybe he's stuck in the wall or something? Oh my god, there's a button right here.
Thank you very much.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah, you've got to... You've got to get him to the end.
I'm the king.
Oh my god, this is gonna take me forever. Are you fucking serious with that? What a... No!
Thank you very much. I'm the king. Thank you very much. I'm the king. Yeah. Thank you very much.
This is fun.
Thank you very much.
Escort quest. So good. Thanks, game.
Thank you very much.
With Elvis. That's how he died.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm the king.
Whoa. That was so close. But I did it.
Ah, a customer.
Cool, we just watched Elvis die.
That's gotta hurt.
Do I have to... Is that a giant burger?
Hey. Hey.
I wonder if I could just have a bite. It's me, and I think that Gherkin guy's in here too. I'm gonna call it Earthworm Jim's Double King Triple Deluxe. Don't spare the hot sauce ultimate burger. A chain of McJims across the nation. Just give me the udder.
Win, win, win. Me, me, me. Oh, yeah.
What a weird level. What a weird level. Alright, let's go back to the brain. Hey.
Hey.
Alright, boss time. Fatty Roswell.
Time to fry.
This is gonna be a tough one. I remember dying a lot on this one. Okay. Fucking hell. Is that that's Jim Cummings?
Worm power.
It's harder to tell with his shots with that red shot. It comes in so much slower. There's no smoke on the back. So it might take me a while. The one thing that I never use with this, right, that you really got to, and it makes it way easier, is the radar. Because the radar is everything in blind aiming. Because you need it to do shots like that. That miss. Fuck. But it helps. Perfect. The problem is he teleports. And that's where, like, this whole level is bullshit. Teleporting motherfucker. See, it requires all my concentration. That's why I'm not really saying anything. Pain in the ass is what it is, though. The one plus, I don't know if it's a plus though, is when he teleports, if he's being hit, he takes the hitbox with him. So he'll drop things, and then if he's teleporting while dropping, he'll then start dropping stuff elsewhere. Which I guess is good if, like, you don't want him to pick it all up in one shot, but... Psych. Fuck! It's like pulling teeth, these levels. I get what they were trying to do, but it's like, these aren't fun. It's fun for like one mini game, like. Do you know what I mean? Having every boss do the same thing with a slightly different attack is a nightmare when you're on the pig. Nearly blew up your hearing. I apologize.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
Suit shutting down.
Shit.
Time to
I forgot you had health as well with this. Fuck. Just those things I can't tell. The speed seems different.
worm power.
Am I in beans? Yeah.
Worm power.
I think it's like the validity of it not having smoke, like the missiles. It's harder to read. The more you see this game, the less you understand. That's Earthworm Jim though. Like, that's Earthworm Jim in a nutshell.
Oh yeah.
There is no sense to these games, like really. It's how silly can we go with it?
Worm power.
Let me see on the camera.
Oh yeah.
So it's a little new to you. It's a lot to explain. Like, you probably be like, what's the pig doing there? Why is he in beans? There's no reason. It's just that's how the game be. This level's such a pain in the ass, I hate it. It's that shit too. It's the fact that he's invincible too. Because you're aiming for a goal. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got... The only way you win is by holding all the marbles, which is the pun. But he doesn't have health. So you've got extra stake in the whole situation. It makes it twice as hard.
We're doomed.
went too early then. It's probably my last hit too. The only plus side is you get 1 point of health every time you pick up a marble. Every marble is worth 1. How's it going, my dude? Fuck. I was close at that time. The other thing too is like skipping cutscenes, like trying to skip the cutscenes. Okay. Yep. Nearly Dead Face looks like that. It does actually, yeah. It does, yeah. Yeah. Fuck, the idea too is you're meant to pick up as many as you can so there isn't a scatter at the end. So every player should be holding like not an equal amount but the entire amount on the board. Because it helps. Few words. It is, yeah. Oh, bullshit. He teleported. I'm concentrating now. Too early. when they come straight for my back, I can't predict the space. That's why I'm getting hit from the back. Fuck, both missed? Oh man. Fuck! No. So there's ones from the back I can't. No! Game over. Fuck off. We were close.
Cheesy effects!
Let me back in. As usual, chat. Sorry if I go quiet, because usually if I'm fighting something or doing something, it takes me a little bit of concentration.
Hey!
Let's try that again. I was very close.
Time to fry!
Fuck, that one came in way faster. That one I jumped. Come on. What are you doing so poorly in this run? fact that he can teleport around the board is utter pain.
Suit shutting down.
Shit.
Time to fry.
Fuck, I just glitched myself out of the arena. Nice. Two glitches tonight. Nice.
Way. Way.
How did that miss? What the fuck? Ooh! That's the plus. You can launch two at exactly the same time. Like this. Makes him drop double as much.
Suit shutting down. Mine now. Shutting down.
See what I mean, chat's not easy. I panicked then. Fuck, that one came in way too quick. Fuck, he hit me with two. He did a me. And he hit me with a third. I had a good run. Fuck! Oh, this is my last life, I think. It is. I hate when they miss. Hey pro, what's going on?
Worm power.
Oh. Oh! Been a while since you caught a stream. Yeah, it has been a while, man. Still recovering from that game. Oh shit, bro. Was it good? I'm glad you enjoyed it, dude. I've been working on that since September. Like writing how I'm gonna put the lore in. Then I had to kind of plan it around what the peeps voted for on Patreon. Because I wanted peeps to pick the game, and so I had to kind of like rattle it around that. It wasn't easy.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had to go like, could I review this game for the lore? It's hard. I'm glad you enjoy it though. It's gonna be really cool when the DVDs come out, and then that has all the extra stuff.
No way. Oh, yeah.
I loved it. Got to it writing everything down. I'm glad you pulled it off. Do you want some inside information? Now? I'm willing to give it to you because you're, you know, big fan. So. Well, it's actually the reason why it took so long. I'm not going to tell you the full thing. There is a reason why, and I may tell it one day. But part of it was like me trying to, because the whole like meta of it is like, why aren't the girls in it anymore? Like, and the kind of meta of it is, I made it about the lore. But then I wanted to make this sort of like, no, they're still there. They're just not there as much sort of thing. The hard part was getting everybody to agree to do it. And obviously some of those scenes were shot very far apart. You know, everyone had shot their scenes, whether they'd shot them a year before or like 3 months. But kind of everyone had to agree on certain stuff. The hand that you see holding the gun is actually my hand because I had to film.
Wow, man, like
I had
really?
to film it because you were theorizing whose hand it was. In theory, it was my hand. There's actually a really subtle mistake I made in it, but I haven't really pointed it. It was the way I cropped the thing, but I'll fix it for the DVD. But it was actually my hand holding the gun, and the reason why was because as I was writing the plot, trying to fix everything, and with you, the fans, making all your little like theories and like writing all your little things down, it helped me between that time of me taking a break from the plot and looking after my dad, like me kind of, it made me, it helped me to put everything back together a lot because there was a lot of stuff I'd forgot about the show. And then I realized that the plot did take a break in a couple of seasons where there wasn't any plot. I mean, there was like part of plot, but like it was Dave's stuff. It wasn't really, you know. And so what was really interesting about building the whole Undershades thing, I kind of knew where we were going to go with it. I brought him back to... Sorry, I'm listening to the bullets as they fly towards me because I have to listen to sound cues. The big issue with the whole thing is that I know that there were plot holes from before when, you know, people had questions. So in a way, me bringing him back was kind of like an excuse to be like, all right, I can fix all that. You know, I can fix all those plot holes. I can fix all that. I can right the wrongs, fix the plot holes, write excuses. You know, that sort of stuff. But also to kind of give you guys, like, these last few years have been pretty bad, like COVID and stuff. I felt it was only fair to do plot, but then I was like, because I've been so busy, it's easy to write a DAC game episode. It's harder to write a DAC game episode with a shitload of plot in it. And I felt like instead of just dribbling out little bits, that I was just going to do like a shitload of it. In each one. So it almost like doubled in length. But the hardest part was like, Nisa Shady has had a kid in real life. Her kid was born literally the month before COVID started. Like before the lockdowns happened. So like, and because I just finished dealing with the passing of my dad a little bit and you know, all that shit, it was very hard to reassemble the team. Specs, meanwhile, was pregnant with her second kid. So Specs has had 2 kids since then. Niece's had 1. And it was really hard to kind of like get them together in the same room because of COVID. And then I had to like, I'm literally every week it was like, I'll spend 5 minutes writing a little bit of it or fixing it or trying to like think what you peeps would ask as a question. What can I fix about it? Fuck. These pigs. I think I answered everything in a way that was suitable, and I think, if anything, it proved to me that bringing Dave in was a really big help. because I thought that bringing him in for a secondary plot at the same time, my goal was originally to go off Undershades and just go straight into Dave, but it didn't happen like that. And so 2 plot lines were happening at the same time, and it was very confusing for a lot of people. So I had to kind of intertwine them in the same, like, and it does, like, you know, it does come off a bit convoluted sometimes, and I will admit that, because, you know, people are like, Shades is really after this whole heist thing, and there's this whole other side thing, and it was me trying my best with the resources that I had to write something without leaving it for too long, because otherwise we would have aged too much. So I wanted to try my best to, you know... Plus, like, you know, I was gaining and losing weight rapidly. So it's hard. Plus, I felt like introducing Dave meant I could introduce time travel, which is always a retcon. You can do anything with time travel, but if you notice, I didn't use it. I didn't use it in the end. There is over 10 versions of what happens to Undershades, and you experience one. That's how many times I rewrote it. It was over 10. There was even one where I didn't even acknowledge that the girls weren't there. It was just like... But then I realized that a lot of people were asking the question. So I thought, if I'm going to do it, I'll do it all in one hit. So I wrote down every question that people had. Every plot hole that had not been discussed. You know, I tried to cover everything that, you know, had never been covered. Even old stuff. That's why I went back to the first one. And, you know, there was a lot of things with, like, the gun and, like, you know, that sort of stuff. It's like, people have questions and shit. And there's still questions. There's still going to be questions. Like, even I still have a couple questions. But I kind of know, like... I think it was tied together really well with Rule. Kind of dealing. It's a fitting conclusion to that character. It is, yeah. Well, because I think that one of the biggest plot points that I couldn't really figure out during that time and when Dad got sick was I realized that I'd sent Shady off on this quest and it had become increasingly harder every single time to kind of like be like, where is she gone? But then I realized that like we all kind of drift apart in some way. And I think that's kind of like, it's a natural progression as people to drift apart. And I find that almost like a therapeutic thing to admit as a creator. And so one of the things I wanted to acknowledge was, yeah, the girls do have lives outside of Shady Corner. Do I see them? Yeah, just not as often as I'd like to. And it was a really good way to kind of talk to the audience a little bit and answer that question. But also to answer, why haven't the girls been, why hasn't Shady and Specs not showed up? Where have they been? And what's really funny is that shot, I'm trying not to give away too much because obviously right now what's going to happen is it's going to all connect to Dodgy Games now. Like Dodgy Games is going to be the next. Dave openly admits it and that's what it is. Dodgy Games Season 3 is going to be Dodgy Games Season 3 featuring the guy from that game. That's going to be the joke. And that's what I've been planning for a while. And the reason why I say that, and I'll say this now, is because back when we'd finished filming season 2 of Dodgy Games, and this will be on the season 3 DVD, is Dodgy Games season 3 was a completely different story when I was friends with Chris. And Chris decided he didn't want to be friends anymore. So it was really hard for me to kind of continue the saga of where the hell he went. So I would say Dodgy Games Season 3 has been rewritten over 20 times. Whereas, and then like, if anything, the DAC Game stuff made it harder. Because I want you to be able to watch the DAC Game stuff without having to watch the Dodgy Game shit. I want it to be separate, but I also want you to be able to connect them together. Was the last scene with Rule 63 Shady recorded, reused footage? No, you know what it was? Do you really want to know what it... So, okay. That footage you see of Shady, Rule 63 Shady, was filmed in... Hang on, I have to think. I'm thinking now. I'm gonna take a guess, okay? That footage of Shady walking down the alleyway and picking up the game was filmed in 2017. So before Dad got sick and sort of around... We started shooting Dodgy Game Season 3 again for the third time because we were trying it again without Chris. And then what happened was my plan was to merge them a lot earlier. So I had this whole sub thing where obviously Dave leaves the alleyway to meet Shades and Dave drops the game in the alleyway. And it's revealed later on that, oh, Dave actually had a spare copy of the game the whole time and it didn't just like get crushed. But what happened was we shelved Dodgy Games because of obviously Dad getting sick. And so by the time had passed, like that game, it was kept progressing and it was changing constantly. And the short shot with when she merged it with Shady, is that new? No, it's not. Hydrate, yes. Thank you. No, so that scene's actually from Dodgy Game Season 3, and so I just reused it. I used that scene of her walking the alleyway. The only thing that's reshot in that scene is when it hits the floor. And I shot that like, 3 days ago? I went out to a car park. I'm not even joking. It was really... I almost took a photo of it because I wanted to prove it to people. I went out to a car because I realized I didn't have a shot of Shadette dropping the game and being sucked back into Shades. And I was like, fuck, how am I going to do that? And so I was like, well, what I can do is I can show the game dropping. I still have the same prop from 2017. So I went to a car park and I just aimed up the shot to make it look like it was the same shot. The shot of her merging back into me, the question that you're asking, that's from the Potion Bar episode. Her screaming, that's from Potion Bar. I just took it, and if you look, I reversed the footage, so it's an unused take from Potion Bar. It's not the same take when she's screaming and turning back to me. It's an unused take where she's screaming, and then I reversed it. No, I didn't reverse it. No, but in the end, she smiles, and I synced it up with my face, so it looked like, because the idea is that was an outtake. It was an extra take, yeah. A lot of the stuff that was used in this episode were extra takes, like bits and pieces that I've had literally lying around. Like, there is a whole... and there's so much that wasn't used as well. Because, again, I've been shooting it for so long. Is always really cool. I think it is too. I think it's really cool. So I don't know if I should tell you this, but I'm thinking of telling you. Because I feel like if I don't tell you, then eventually it's going to come out one day anyway. But, okay, so... Let me finish this first. And then I'll tell you. Keep you on your toes. No, I don't. It's. Look at that. I won and lost at the same time. Another glitch. 3 glitches in one night, guys. No, I don't feel uncomfortable. I'm just gonna say it. Okay. So, and this is probably the only time I'm really gonna talk. I might talk about it on the DVD extra because I have been talking with the team about it. So obviously, when we're talking about timeline and everything, and talking about like trying to retcon everything, and I wanted to fix everything up, and then Dad getting sick and everything. COVID really killed it for us, and it killed it for me motivation wise. And if you notice, I put on a lot of weight, and it was the hardest thing in the world because I really wanted to do more with that game. And I had several other plans for Spectre. But I'm just going to say it because I feel like I need to say it. So I'm just going to quickly tell you a short story, and you can take it as what you will. But even up until 2 days ago, 2 days prior to the episode releasing, it was completely different. Well, not completely different. There was stuff that was different. And the reason for that was because I had a falling out with Rule 63 Shady. We no longer speak. And that was as of a week ago. A week prior to the episode filming. So what happened, we hadn't spoken for we hadn't spoken for a few years. Not since our initial falling out. And the falling out that happened was that our friendship just wasn't it wasn't gelling. And I'd felt enough time had passed where I wanted to bridge the gap with her. I was already friends with Nisa. Nisa's like blood to me. Same with Stacy, Specs. Those girls will do anything at the drop of a hat. Things have changed now, obviously, because they have kids. So it's harder to film with Nisa. I still have to pick her up and stuff. But the thing is, right, and this is what I'm going to tell you, is the hardest part, there is a whole separate scene where Nisa is sitting on the couch, and it's meant to happen after the credits, and it is Nisa Shady talking about Rule 63 Shady, and she's on the phone talking to Specs, and she's like, where is Rule 63 Shady? And she goes, well, actually, she's here. And it shows her finding the game in the alleyway. And the reason why that scene was shot was because before that, none of that was going to happen. What was going to happen and what was really written, and I'm telling you this because I feel like it's cool. And it shows you that I can write something to make it even... I feel like it ended up better anyway. The original hand situation and that whole hand and you figuring out the hand, who's holding the gun, is because I was waiting on Rule 63, Shady. I had already established and met up with her. I chatted with her and we'd hung out and I was like, hey, look. And we kind of established that we were friends again, right? And so one day I said to her, hey, I know this is going to seem like really out of the blue. I know we don't film together anymore. We're just friends. But I want to ask a favor. And this is one last favor. And it's not for me. It's for the fans. And I can even show you the DMs. Like, I don't feel like I have to, but I could show them to you. But the DMs were, I don't want to do it for me. I want to do it for the fans. And the reason why is I want to kind of put a conclusion to your character. And she's like, that sounds like a cool idea. What were you thinking? And I was like, well, I was thinking that when Spectre is about to kill me, you walk in and you shoot me with the gun. And you've been out and you found the gun. And then you reveal that, oh, this whole thing was going to be... it was going to be a memory wipe, and it was going to be a huge reveal, and I was so excited. And she's like, that's so fucking cool. It's going to be so awesome. The fans are going to love it. They're going to like... And I was excited. Like, I was so excited that she said yes. And so I made sure, because I was like, we don't really film together anymore, that I made sure that the scene was really small. That it was like 10 sentences. It was her doing the thing, acknowledging it, then sitting with Shades where Nisa sat, had the conversation, explained that it was all a retcon thing, and like, oh sorry, not a retcon. It was all about the fuck blender thing and separating the Spectre from me, the egg that was inside of me. And she was like, fuck yeah. And this was even before then. I'd had this whole fucking other idea that I was going to have it, that it wasn't like before Shady. And just to quickly tell you this, before Shady, it was actually going to be me standing there with the gun. And the reason why it was going to be me was I thought it'd be really cool if the Shades that you see wasn't the Shades, and the Shades that was in that woke up from the coma wasn't me, and the real Shades had left to hunt the Spectre down and find the gun and hunt Spectre down. And it was going to be a whole like Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain thing where you find out that real Shades is gone and we've been with an imposter Shades the entire time. And then real Shades says, well, I'm going to go leave and I'm going to go create a thing called Outer Harem. And it was going to be like this parody of like Metal Gear Solid. And there was this whole thing and I was like, that's so cool. Then there could be like, this Shades is not the real Shades, but it is Shades. And then that's when I established a thing with Shadette, Beck, Rule 63 Shadette, and she was like, hey, like, we should do that scene. And I was like, you know what? It'd be cool. The fans would love that. So I cut all of that, and I rewrote it again, and I was like, all right. So I wrote it that Rule 63 Shadette was going to be standing there. And then I went to go organize her to film it. And I'm not even kidding. That whole scene was meant to be 3 episodes ago. And I had to drag it out. And the reason why I dragged it out was because she chose to drag it out. I'm not going to go too into it. But what she told me was that she basically messaged me and said, I don't want to do it. And I said, why don't you want to do it? Like, I've been waiting 6 months to do like these 10 lines. And every time I ask, like, do you want to like come around and do it? Like, you don't want to do it. And it turned out that she was just fucking with me. I think that's what I established from that. And so I was like, wow, like after all this time of me trying to reestablish a friendship with somebody that I really liked, that I considered family, she did that. And so I was kind of in pieces because I was like, how the fuck how am I supposed to like do this now? Because now she's fucked it over, and then I've also lost a friend in the process. And Nisa, God bless her, she has been there from the beginning. She's always been the first Shadette, right? The moment she found out that had happened to me from Rule 63 Shadette, she was like, first thing she said was, I'm not going to tell you that I told you so, but I knew that it was going to go that way with her, and I'm sorry to hear that, and if it's any consolation, I'm never going to go anywhere, and I'm sorry that you had to deal with her mind games and her bullshit. And I said, it's okay, I just feel like I let the fans down because I wanted to do something really cool for them, and I wanted to end the character. And she goes, well, you still can end the character. If anybody can end it, it's you. You just need time to write something really fucking cool. And so, like, I would write bits every day, and then, you know, I'd throw it out, and I write bits every day. And then I thought about it. And I thought, well, if I'm no longer friends with her, and she's no longer going to do this scene, and I need to obviously establish that, because the whole Terry thing, and Terry, there was even going to be like a fucking, it was in the back of my head of having like a Spectre Terry, but the idea of it being coincided with the direct of Twisted Terry, that whole Twisted Terry direct was meant to be in the episode. That's the reason why the fucking the Halloween thing was so cut close, and I didn't get to do a Halloween episode of that game, was because of Rule 63 Shader, and she fucked me around. That's how long I've been working on it. I've been working on it since September. And she just kept fucking me around until the point was that she found it was good enough for her to do that. And I was so upset because I kept putting it off. And I didn't want you guys to be upset at seeing this, like, this thing that I was trying to make, and you'd be like, why are you drawing it out, Ross? Like, why are you fucking making this horrible? And I wanted to try and make it nice. And it got to the point where Nisa was like, you can do this, you can write it in a way that's really cool. And then I thought, well, I will. Like, I will write it in a way that's really cool. But if I'm going to do it, I need to tie up every loose end. And then I realized that I've got a bunch of stuff that I've shot with Rule 63 Shadette that nobody's ever seen. Like bits from dodgy games, bits from old sketches when she played somebody else. I was like, I could just use footage from something else. And so I went back and I had a look at some of the footage, and that's when I saw the alleyway stuff. And I realized that I could actually put the alleyway stuff into that. And then I was like, that'd be brilliant. But then she's still alive. And my sort of part of that, because Nisa's comment to me about we're always still here rings true towards me and Specs and Nisa. The reason why Nisa didn't the reason why Specs didn't actually appear in the episode was a legitimate reason. Like, there was obviously the clip you saw of her reappearing. There was a whole separate phone call scene that was meant to happen with Specs, and I cut it. It just didn't feel right to put it in there, but Specs still does videos, and she's still in it. There's nothing, but I didn't want people to think that. So I reused that footage of the Rule 63 stuff. And as she's walking down the alleyway and I'm editing it, I was like, you know what I could do? I could have it that everything happens all at the same time. Because the episode is meant to be timed together. So when Spectre dies, the part of the Spectre dies inside of Terry and it escapes into Shady Lucart. That's why it can't stay in there, because it's dying and it's trying to escape and it's trying to get out, and it's like Terry's fucking his own brain and it's like, fuck, I want to get out. And so you can see like everything's happening at the same time, like it's all kind of happening. And I was like, well, the one thing that we don't have the answer to is, where is Rule 63 Shadette? She is a product of Spectre. She's a product of him. And that's the key that I took from that. And I was like, fuck. She can't be alive if Spectre's alive. If Spectre's dead, sorry. She can't be alive if he's dead. So by killing Spectre, as she finds the game and she's just about to grab it, that's when she's pulled back into Shade's body, and that she has become a part of Shades again, and she's no more. It's that part is gone. At the same time, it's gone, but it's come back to Shades, and it's gone, but it's there. It's come back. You can see it being pulled back into me. That was the whole idea of the shot, is it's meant to be that. And the UK clip, exactly what I thought. That Specs undid her when Shady saved the whole hologram. The ending. That's exactly what I thought. That undoing Spectre undid her. Yeah, because the whole idea is that Nisa is a hologram, so she's not legit. She's a copy of what she was. She's no more. She is a copy. So you can see in the banner. And that's what I'm trying to make. And I'm glad that you can understand it. So Rule 63 wasn't saved, but Shadette was. Yeah. The original Shadette. But I think in a way, it works really well. I think in a way it works really well. And the UK thing, so she did shoot several things, but we ended up using another take of something else. So we still speak, me and UK actually. Me and UK have a different friendship. She's like a little sister to me, whereas I'm like a big brother to her. We spoke a couple of days ago because it was her birthday, actually. She's great. I don't know if she wants to come back for filming though. And it's not because of the filming thing. I think she's just content, and I'm happy with her being content. I said to her that the door's always open. She's like, "Oh fuck yeah!" Like, I'll think about it. And I was like, "That's cool." Like, I never want anyone to feel pressure. It made complete. I haven't got my glasses on here. It made complete sense for her to disappear. I think the way it played out was pretty perfect. I also want to say this. I hope that what I have told you just now, over the last 20 minutes, has not ruined your perception of what I've done. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think I did a pretty fucking good job retconning it after all that fuckery. And I realized that she can't exist. It makes no sense. If anything, she gave me the answer, which was that she didn't want to be in my life anymore, so it was like, well, I'll retcon her. But the way I see it with a lot of things, whether it be celebrities, whether it be people you know, if they don't want to be your friends anymore, or they're just shitty, or they've changed, or they've done something bad, the way I like to do it, and I know not many people can do it, is watch them for who they were, not who they are now. I can still go back and watch episodes and really appreciate, and I like the person I see there. I obviously don't like the person now, but I like the person that it was. So I hope that me telling you this information didn't ruin anything for you guys. Because as I was telling it, it was very hard for me to A, not cry, and B, to be like, I've just fucked up all that editing that I've done by telling you this information. But I wanted you to understand that this whole... I want to entertain for you guys, and the girls want to do it too. And yeah, things have become increasingly difficult. You know, we've all got different lives, but we still hang out and we still do stuff together. It's never really about the videos. I think the videos are definitely a second thing. But we never want you guys to feel like that there's something that we want to hide. So I would rather, as much as that the movie magic makes it seem like it's all like, you know, I still want you guys to be able to walk away knowing what you saw was legit. And I want you to understand that these characters and these... I've enjoyed seriously writing for them. It has been so fun. And I think bringing back the Spectre one last time, I'm so glad I did. It motivated me. And I'm going to say this because, one of the reasons was you, Pro. Bariko's another person that kept me motivated. All the fans, every single fan that was like, who would message me and go, what happened to this character and what happened to that? And I'm not going to get emotional because I don't have the energy to get emotional, but I'm going to be honest. And I'm going to be very honest and truthful because I feel like I can only be in this. And I know I run an old record when I say it. When my dad got sick and he died, a big piece of me went with him. And I felt like my creativity for writing stories went with him. And it took a long time for me to find that again. And it was such a slow process that I felt like I was upsetting all of you every fucking day of my life. Because I'm not making the content you want. I'm not doing the things that you want. I'm not the person who I was. And so I've started eating healthier now. I've started looking after myself and I put myself first. But then I realized that the reason why I'm this far is because of you guys. And even seeing I still use the document that you guys wrote me with the lore that you wrote in there. And the reason why I did that was because I was too mentally fucked up at the time after my dad had passed away to even sit down and redo it all. And I was too scared to ask for anyone's help because I felt like I was that far deep into a story. And I was so mad at myself that I was like, here I go again, not being able to complete another show. I never got to finish Minecraft Chronicles, the last 2 episodes. I still haven't finished Dodgy Games Season 3. But so many people, including yourself, Pro and Barrico and Fancy and all these other people, constantly asking me questions, showing me bits of lore, loving the story, as cheesy and as corny as it is, has been really like heartwarming. And I have the files on my desktop in a little folder because I use them, and I've got all the little notes and little things that's helped me to kind of finish it off, and I wanted to do it for you guys. And it also helped me to find myself a little bit as well. And I felt like, much like my dad passing away, this was also another chapter of my life I was able to kind of like close off and finish and make you all feel complete. And I'm really excited for what's going to happen this year because we got some cool shit. I want to do Dodgy Game Season 3. I want to do this whole thing with the Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Triple X thing. I want to do like a new storyline. I want to do something else. And the DVDs are going to be so fucking cool because I've planned like mini stories for each DVD that I want to do. I have the motivation again. That motivation was like, I just needed the coal, the fuel, somebody to fucking give me the energy and the strength. And you guys did that for me. And I cannot thank you enough. And it was the little times that I was like, you know, when you would be like, you'd see the Spectre in Shady Lucart, or like you'd see like the blue stuff, or you would see like I would mention something, or I would wink at the camera. I was doing that because I was like, I know you want this. You need to give me a bit more time to kind of land. And I think I'm creatively back there now. So, and I want to thank you all for putting up with me during that tough time of my life, and know that I couldn't have got this far without you. And if anything, as something as imperfect as life can be, I think what I've created with that game, looking back on it and creating the DVDs, has been one of like, I'm having so much fun making these DVDs right now because they're going to be a definitive way to kind of like watch everything, and I'm so excited for that. And I just want to say thank you for being fans of me, and it means a lot to me, and I love you guys so much, and I'm gonna cry and I don't want to cry, but I just want to say thank you so much for just being fans of what I do, my videos, my world, Shady Corner, how everything connects together. All the worlds connect. I love doing that. I don't care if they're lewd games and shit. Like, I want everything to connect. I cannot wait for you to see what's going to happen in Marble Made Negative Levels and what happens after it. It's gonna blow your fucking mind. I've written this thing and it's so fucking cool. I can't wait to talk about it. Like, it's weird to think Spectre's gone. He's an awesome character. Well, he's not gone. Because when you really think about it, Dave kind of took a piece of him. And that was kind of my bookmark. Dave captures that last little essence and puts it in the cartridge. And he puts it in his pocket. And I guess it's kind of a metaphor for, well, if I need the Spectre and I want the Spectre character to come back, then the character's always going to be there sitting on a cartridge somewhere. And I can just take it off my shelf and be like, well, the character could come back. Because the other half of the Spectre's now in Shady Lucart running havoc as a fucking half-hybrid fucking Terry. Fucking and sucking everything he can. But the other half is locked away in a little cartridge in date. And a lot of people didn't notice that too. And I noticed that you didn't notice it either, Pro. It was like, when he clicks it in and he puts it in, and then like, if you watch that final scene, he takes the cartridge out and he puts it in his pocket. And yeah, that's kind of where that is. So, and I also wanted this year, I'm hoping this year I can cover where Terry comes from. I want to do a whole story on that. I've been like writing this whole thing of this cute little story. Like I really want to do, I say cute, but Terry wouldn't like that. But I'm doing a whole separate story. So it's going to be cool. But yeah, you never know. Spectre might rock up in Dodgy Games Season 3. You never know. It might all connect. The DVDs are coming along really well. I'm really excited for them. I'm really excited to see if you guys like them. I'm trying to work as fast as I can, but at the same time, I'm taking my time. Because I always worry that you guys won't be here tomorrow to buy them and support and stuff. Believe me, I've noticed. Okay, cool. Anyway, I thought that I just tell you that information anyway, so and you can do with it what you will. I know it was a weird way to kind of end tonight's stream, but you peeps were hanging out, and I just wanted to kind of tell you that because you know I owe you that. So, and I can't wait for the next episode of that game. Because fuck, it's going to be weird. I've already started planning it. It's so good. You guys are going to love it. So, anyway. I'm going to call it a night because it's 3 a.m. and I need to go get some sleep because I have some fucking crazy stuff to do tomorrow, including more Under the Hood, which I cannot wait for you to see what's happening in that. So, thank you so much. Anyway, it's really humbling. I'm gonna cry. Stop it. Okay, I'm gonna go. All right. I love you, Peep, so much. Do I really want to quit? Just for a while.